I wanted to share that I've been enjoying myself lately a lot, doing some sorting through and arranging of the many things that people have donated to us. It's amazing how generous people are and how much they care that we have the necessities that we need for sustaining our lives and the means to be proper and clean and properly dressed. And sometimes it makes me a little uncomfortable, like I'm enjoying this so much, but I should develop renunciation. But then, oh yeah, IA comes to help, introspective awareness, and it kicks up my mindfulness. And I remember, yeah, I'm doing this for a good motivation. I'm doing this to support the community. And there's no problem that I'm enjoying it. I mean, if I enjoy it, I'm also doing a better job for the community. And so I'm supporting the Dharma in that way. And it's really helpful when our storage spaces are neatly and tidy and clean so that we can easily find the things that we need. And in that sense, people are so incredibly generous that our storage pile up, actually. And we are modest and we don't need so many things. So it's good to go through them and see what can be used by other people who do really need them, like people who have lost their homes in the fires. And it's also very interesting how one can apply the Dharma by doing this. So I'd like to share some of examples of how I try to do this. It's kind of the same as doing a retreat. Like first you make a big mess and you work through it and you keep what is useful and you give away that which is not useful. And in a retreat, when you focus on the mind and you get rid of all the distractions that are there usually, you see what a big mess your mind is. And you encounter some good qualities and you keep them because you want to employ them and to develop them. And then you encounter a lot of garbage, only you don't want to give them away to others because they already have enough of that. So you try to transform them. And it's also a way of seeing the dukkha of change. So I start out totally enthusiastic, but then it takes more time than I had anticipated, and it's time for lunch, and I have to stop, and there's still a big mess. So I get annoyed, I get stressed, and so it's clear that the fun is not in the things or the tasks that I'm doing, it's just in the mind. And then there's greed and aversion. It works a little different than from I was still a lay person. So I saw a beautiful jacket that somebody had donated of real good quality, and I can feel like, oh, this is so beautiful. Is it my size? And but I already have a jacket, and it's good enough. So I don't need this, and I can just put it aside. And also the aversion is a little different. I mean, I remember well that I bought things and I kept them for a long time. And then I realized, well, I don't really need those things. But it's still difficult to do them away sometimes. And sometimes it's like, okay, and now I want to get rid of them. Get out. And I don't have that when I do that here. It's probably because I didn't buy those things and I haven't had them for a long time. It's just all new to me and I'm not so biased, but still sometimes there are things that are like a shade that I do not like much or a pattern or design that I don't like much. It's much easier to do those, to decide. Well, there's restrictions on what we can wear as monastics, and according to our tradition, it may seem a bit picky, but we do want to follow our teacher, the Buddha's, his guidelines. So we wear garments that are kind of modest. We don't possess too many of them, and we wear shades of maroon thereabouts. So that means that that neon pink shirt that I found is not something that we can use and that can be given to somebody who would like to use it. And then there's fashion, that's really interesting. Because one year everything is very tight and the next year things are very big. And our clothes are pretty loose-fitting, although not like this. And some of the things that have been donated through the years have these labels that are kind of fitting the fashion. So 1 year a size medium is like this, and sometimes it is like this. So I came up to a shirt that said XXL, but for us it would fit a medium size monastic. So then I relabeled it. And before me, of course, there had been other people doing this sorting out, and they made the categories that I'm trying to use. And then you see that categories are not always clear-cut and neat. So let's take the category fleece and the category hoodies. There's 4 possibilities between them, I realized. So there is something that's clearly a hoodie, easy. It's made out of cotton, no problem. And then there's a fleece. It doesn't have a hood. Totally clear. But now I got a hoodie that's made of fleece. What do I do with it? Put it in one, put it in the other. And then the pajama pants don't fit anywhere in any of the categories that we have, so I just make up a new one. And then I found this stack of 3 or 4 brand new shirts that somebody has so kindly offered to us. Exactly the same color, exactly the same design, even the same size. So are they one or are they different? Well, they are so very similar that you would think they are one. But to the direct perceiver to which they both appear, they are perceived as different. So, another lesson. I don't know if they are inherently different though, because I still do not grasp what that means exactly. And then there is the material to take into account. So we are conservative with the resources like water and electricity and our time and space. So we do only a limited number of wash loads, and we don't do hand wash. So then there's this garment that says, wash by hand, wash separately. That it's sometimes really beautiful. Like, oh, it's cashmere. But yeah, it's really not really applicable for us. So I put that aside and hope that somebody else will be very happy with it. So I find it really interesting how much of Dharma that we learn and that we practice can be used in just this small, simple task. And that's where I got. Thank you.